Hello everyone. So today I will be sharing with you how God helped me to pay my tuition. This is a testimony of God's supply. So I got admission and I was to start as of September 2023. And as the time approached, let's remember that I moved from Nigeria. So I'm basically starting life afresh in Canada as a PR. I didn't have money. I think I had managed to save about $4,000 as of that time. As the time for school approached, I became very anxious. I would just go to bed and I would keep tossing on the bed. I would not be able to sleep as to where the money is going to come from. I'll be so worried, like constantly. I was constantly worried because I would think, what if I lose my job? What if I get sacked? What if I'm so stressed at school that I can't handle going to school full time and paying my and working full time, because my plan was to work full time school, full time work, and as of then I was earning $43,000. So I knew, based off of the calculation, that if I am not doing full time school, I would not be able to meet up, because I also contribute to the household that I live in. So this ends up leaving me with a very little income, if at all I am doing a part time job. Do you understand? So I would not have enough left to for school and the tuition, right? Of course, as the time approached, I was scrambling and putting a lot of things together, and I ended up with 4,500 at some point. My parents are here, but they're also busy with their lives. Canada is no jokes. Canada it leaves you with so many bills to pay. So the last thing you want to do is to depend on your parents to take care of a situation like that for you. I used to go to bed and not be able to sleep again. I'm just going to go for it because God told me that I was going to come abroad and go to school. So if He said I was going to come abroad and go to school, then He definitely has a reason. He is able to provide, right? God is not going to let go of me now that I'm in Canada, right? And now that I need to go to school. This is what God told me I was going to come into Canada to do. At least at that point, that's what God had told me. So I went ahead with the school. Again, the tuition for the first semester was around 3,000 or 4,000 thereabouts. So I was able to manage and pay the first tuition, thank God. But as God would have it, the first month into like school resumption, when the school session started, that's the first semester, I got proficient at my job. So when I got proficient at my job, I didn't know that there is something of a salary increment. I was at this job for like 6 months only, and I was given a salary increment. So my salary jumped from 43,000 to 45. I was very happy, and of course, my salary jumping to 45 meant I had more left with me to save after paying bills and all that. So I had more left. The next thing I know, I also had to change my schedule, like my work schedule, because I was now schooling full time, going to school. Sorry, I was now going to school full time, working full time. So this means that I had to get a schedule that would enable me to do this seamlessly. So from there, I was called into a meeting, I think by the end of the first month of my first month in school, and I was told that, oh, so now that you're working evening, because my schedule changed from mornings or afternoons to evenings, so I would start around 5 p.m. and work through the night. I was called into a meeting and I was told that, oh, because you're working late hours now, your salary is going to increase. You're going to get a bonus for working late night hours. So the bonus for working late night hours, I think that increased by 1,800. So that meant that it brought my salary from 45 to around 46,800 thereabout. And that was it. So I worked with 46,800 until the year ended. The year ended, that is the last semester, right? Semester is 4 months. I started in September, so it ends in December. So by December, I was called into a meeting again, and I was told that, okay, there is a yearly bonus of I think it was 2,300. After taxes, of course, it will be less than that. The yearly bonus was 2,300, and then I got told that I would be getting a salary increment of 3%. Then fast forward to the year January 2024, I was called into another meeting again, and I was told that I'm being onboarded on a project. There was a new project where we had to acquire another company, and I was one of the advisors that would be working on that project. Good thing is, towards June, yeah, I was given an award for my performance on that particular project. And after being given the award, I also got I got a bonus added to my paycheck. July, was it July or October 2024 again? I got another award. So I got another bonus which was around, I don't know, November, yeah. So after getting the bonus in November, I was also given monetary value of up to $200. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And then fast forward to December 2020, I was given another bonus, end of the year bonus. All of this time I was in school, by the way. And then in December, I got and for the first time ever, I got this huge bonus. It was a bonus of $4,517. Very shocked. But you can see how money was just coming. Again, I have been in Canada. That was like, I've been in Canada for 4 years now. I wasn't getting money like that before until I started school, and then money was just rushing in from all angles. I also forgot to mention TRA had owed me back pay. The back pay was, I think, estimated up to 2,500. They paid it in that season. Oh my god, like everything was just like money was just coming. It's like and money comes. It's like I would just cough a little and money would come. Money was coming like rain. It ended up not being a worry. So once I started school, money did not become something I had to worry about. Money was no longer something I worried about. I had money. I had money. I was even investing. I'm just so grateful to God. I'm so thankful to God that I was looking at my salary, because my salary was only 43,000. Not knowing that God had other plans. I didn't even know all the things at my job that, oh, if you do this, you get it, you get this. I didn't know that, you know. So, and all through that season, God chose me to give all that money to. So I'm really, really grateful. I ended up, I'm writing my final exams now, and I'm just thinking about it. So I'm very excited. I'm very thankful to God. And you know, it just goes to tell you that, even when it feels like the wind is still, nothing is moving, God is moving. God is moving in the background. God has plans. Just because you can't feel it at the moment doesn't mean that God doesn't have a plan. Just like before I started school, I was feeling like, I'm stuck. It's just me against this school thing. What if I drop out because I cannot pay my tuition? All the what ifs that I was thinking, that I was even having hard pain, that I was having sleepless nights for. All of the what ifs ended up, it was never an issue. Money was never an issue once I started school, and I'm just so grateful to God. I'm so thankful. God is so faithful. God is faithful. The scripture that says that be anxious for nothing, God wasn't playing around when he made that statement. You understand? Everything that is stated in the Bible is stated for a reason. It's not just going to be there because, well, God knows that some of us would have moments like that where we are constantly worried. God has come through for me so many times. I have a cold, so you may hear me sound funny, but I have testimonies, and I have so many testimonies. God has always come through for me, and I am so grateful. And even sometimes, even no matter how many times God has come through for you, when you get to a situation that you meet a wall, you start thinking, is God really here? Is God really doing anything? Because I can't feel it. It feels like there is no weight. Nothing is moving. Like, it's just still. Everything is just still. God is faithful. And one of the things that helps me is to look back at the moments that God has helped me, look back at the times that God has come through for me, and just be thankful to God. God has been so faithful. Again, at this point, I am yet to do my graduation. Of course, I'm writing my final exams now. I'm left with 2 papers. And thinking about it, like, wow, like, I am done with school, and if I am to go back to school again for that same course, I would be able to pay back that tuition. I'll be able to pay it up front. That is how much God has helped me. God has helped me so much that I have much more left. Even after the tuition whole thing, I have much more left to say, you know what, if I want to go take that course again, I can go take that course again. But of course, that's not God's plan. Why should I go and take that course again? Okay, I'm just saying, right? Why should I go and take the course again? So I'm so grateful. God is faithful. God is really, really faithful. And yeah, I'm nothing but thankful. I hope this testimony blesses you. I'm not so good with talking on to the camera. I'm still practicing. So yeah, if I missed any detail, you can bring it to my attention in the comments if you think something is missing, and I will respond to your comments. Thank you.